Hi, my name is Darren, and I'm from Dunman High School. And yeah, woo! Yeah. So anyway, this question is directed at either of you. My question is: do you think that it is more important to like invest capital in importing foreign talents, or using the same amount of capital to develop local talents instead? Thank you.
I think your question thank you for your question. I think it's quite similar to the lady upstairs who asked, and I don't think it's an either or issue. I think for the Singapore economy to thrive, we need both to develop local talent and also to remain open to foreign talent. In a globalized economy today, we can't afford not to have both. And I think the government does invest a lot of resources on developing local skills and local talent. It's not an either or situation. I hope that answers your question.
Hi. Hi, I'm Upper Gallery. Hi, good afternoon. I have two questions for the two journalists. My first question is, in light of the heavy and continuous influx of foreign talent and foreign labor, we can see that the Singaporean identity is being diluted. So what do you think should be done further to preserve our Singaporean culture, heritage, and identity? My second question is, what are the possible outlooks for Singapore's future in the year 2030, given the implementation of the white paper? Thank you.
Thanks for the question. Can I just ask you, what do you mean by the Singapore identity being diluted? Do you have a specific example?
For example, the incident of the Bukit Brown, and I mean, if we look around us, you can see that we are forgetting more and more about who we are, like the Singaporean identity,
Okay, I think I know where you're coming from, but Bukit Brown is quite a different issue. Bukit Brown was more about heritage and preserving our environment. And I think what you tried to make the point before was Singaporean identity. So if you ask me what's the top of the list for Singaporean identity, it's Singlish, food, Singaporean way of life, shopping, things like that. And to some extent, I understand the concerns about Singaporean identity being diluted, and that's why integration is something that's really important, and it's been on the top of the agenda for the government. And it really comes down to individuals making the effort. And I'm sure that many of us have our own prejudices when we encounter groups of foreigners, but it's important for us to keep an open mind and to actually think about our grandfathers, like I said, about 50 years ago, when they came to Singapore, they were all foreigners. So what did they do? They all came together, they worked together, they ate together, and then they became a country. So to some extent, that process is happening now. It can't happen overnight, but it is happening.
Can I attempt another answer? Can we do a quiz? It's not a big quiz, it's a small quiz. I want to ask you, when I put this question to you, just say out loud, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And the question really is, what does it mean to be Singaporean? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? I want to hear you shout back. Roja. Some more? Laksa? Prata? So far it's revolved around food. What comes to mind when you say Singaporean? What does it mean to be Singaporean? What? Kiasu? What? Singlish? PAP? Lee Kuan Yew? So think about it. What does it mean to be a Singaporean? And I bet you, all of you have answers that may be similar, but in your own way will be different. Because at the end of the day, identity exists at many levels. Identity is personal, identity is community-based, identity is national. So we all have multiple identities. As schizophrenic as it may sound, identity exists at many levels. It's fluid, it's dynamic, identity changes over time. You are not fixed and rooted at this point in time, when you say I'm a Singaporean, this is all it means to be a Singaporean. No. At the core, there'll be some values that will last for a long time. There are some values that are eternal, that are fundamental. But around that core, there are many values that will change over time. And this is the reality of what it means to be a citizen in a global environment. So what to you is a Singaporean today may well be a bit different 10, 20 years from now. You know, when I was growing up, I never thought that I would see this many foreigners. But has the country changed? Of course. Does it look very different? Yes. Has it become more crowded? Sure. Is it more inconvenient to take the train? Yes. But has it become a more exciting, interesting place? Are there more places for me to see, people to get to know, corners of the island that I never knew existed? Absolutely. So things are not fixed and permanent. Things change. So identity can also change. But what is important is what is at the core. And to me, that is something you must decide for yourself. And for me, I speak as a minority, what is important to me at the core is that I think Singapore must stay a multiracial, multi-religious society where everyone is tolerant and respecting of difference. If we do not have that fundamental value, I think our future as a country might be in doubt. Thank you.